me just a second. Just a second. Hey. So my life is a series of to-do lists, most of which I keep in my journal, that I have with me almost always. Reading has been a pretty big part of my life since I was little, but I think that my life is a series of to-do lists, but the high points of my life have been a combination of things I do and the people that have helped me do them. So, I think it's fitting to start when I was younger. Let's see, high points of my life that I can remember don't begin until about preschool. I do remember being happy with my parents, and I do remember being happy with my brothers, which, you know, it's pretty standard, but I do remember more starting around 3rd grade. I remember my 3rd grade teacher, Mr. Jones. He gave me a whole shelf's worth of books. There were history books, and I was the only one who read them, so he just gave them all to me. That was a pretty high point in my life, because I loved those books, and I still have them at home. Another high point of my life was when I got to be the center of attention. I was cast as the titular character in my 3rd grade play, Turkey Lurkey. Actually, I wasn't the titular character, I lied. I'm so sorry. I was Turkey Lurkey adjacent. My name was supposed to be Michael, and because of who I was, they turned it to Michelle. This would be very telling later in my life. But yeah, I spent so much time memorizing those lines because I was so excited to be an actor. And my my signature move was a stomp. It was like this. I did that like 24 times throughout the entire play of just like being so angry. I just like stomp. And then I moved actually in 3rd grade. I moved from at the time I was in Omaha, I moved to Ohio. That was not a high point in my life. Ohio, I made some friends, saw some people. I went to a few baseball games. I started swimming. Actually, my whole life I've been pretty invested in sports. Unfortunately, I haven't been very great at them. However, some of the biggest high points of my life have been from the little wins. Little wins when I'm not sitting, when I'm moving, and it doesn't matter how much I can lift, how far I can jump, how fast I can swim. It's not very fast, but it's little accomplishments that I make that take work. The high points of my life have taken work, and I'm privileged to say that I could spend time dedicated to things that I wasn't good at. Around middle school was the time that I got back into like theater stuff. I was doing pretty well in classes, doing okay in band, whatever, but what I really wanted to do was make friends, and all the cool people were doing the middle school musical. And so when I got cast as the evil stepmother in our 8th grade musical, that was a high point in my life. From there, when I got to high school, I had a few other accomplishments that I feel like I carry with me more as I became more of like a real person, like somebody with like an actual like personality. What is personality anyway? I don't know. But I think that some of the high points in my life were talking to other people I looked up to when I was a freshman, or when I was a freshman talking to seniors, for example, about what it meant to be a real person. In the darkness of being a like unreasonably mentally ill adolescent, I think that some of my high points were in the things I forced myself to do when I didn't really want to do them. And it was in my mistakes that I saw the reflection of my true self. But it's the people that stuck with me that I can write down and be like, this person tangibly changed me. And it is the experiences I had with them that made me who I am. In fact, people who fucked me up ended up changing me for the better. Like, a girl told me once that I saved her life. That girl moved into my house when I was 15 and she was 18. And we were in a super toxic relationship. It's whatever. But I was able to majorly improve her life. And that's a high point, I think. And, well, I think I did get better from my unusually angsty teenage self who had far too much to do. Why wasn't I all the shit I was? I was working like 17-hour days when I was like 15. Why was I doing that? I don't know, but I did get high points out of it. And my to-do list continues to grow. But now, instead of cross-country practice and band practice and rehearsal and homework, well, homework's still on the list, but now I think that my to-do list change, but it's the high points in between that connect. connect why I do the things I do. There's a bunny over there. And, well, the busyness gives me purpose. And with purpose, the purpose has given me reason to find high points. Now, I would like to bring to the stage my girlfriend, who I spend all of my time with. And I would like to interview you. What do you think the high points of my life are?
I think that one great accomplishment that you recently obtained was about a year ago when you directed a play, an adaptation of the play Persephone. I thought that that was a beautiful work that you were able to accomplish for the Fort Dodge Community Theater. And I was certainly very impressed. Our friends were very impressed. You were still a teenager when you did it. I don't think that a lot of teenagers can say that they've directed a full production. I'm very, very proud of you for that.
Thank you so much, Alice. I'm gonna give that back to her. Yeah, directing a play, it's something tangible that I can point to and be like, damn, like I spent a lot of to-do lists making that thing. I directed it, obviously, but I also had to do sound and lighting, and I helped build the set, and I did props. I had so many things to do, but it was the accumulation of those things that made it an accomplishment I can point to as a high point. And you know what? If that defines my life, I'm okay with that. One thing I did recently that was a high point in my life was I went to Costa Rica. That's pretty cool. I was depressed for a lot of it, but it was the feeling overall of what it was. And when I look back at things like getting a 5 on AP US History exam, or getting All-State, or making varsity on my high school cross-country team, or getting distinguished delegate at American Mall of the United Nations, which I put way too much effort into. It's what I dedicate my time to. Things take time, and there's only so much time. It does no good to not be grateful for even having a place to jot down my ideas, and for being able to dedicate time to things that are bigger than me, to ideas, to words, to the creation of things. To be able to, run. I run in my free time, when I have free time. And I feel like I've heard from other people that running is like torture, right? But I feel like the ability to run and to have gotten better at running is one of the biggest high points in my life, because that took years. It took years. I can't say that one thing I did was a high point, because it was a process. It was a process. And I could run right now. I might. lot about the things that have been accomplishments, but one thing I want to highlight is it took a lot of embarrassing myself to get there. I embarrass myself all the time. I don't think that's a high point. However, if it weren't for all the times I raised my hand in class and got the answer wrong, and if it weren't for the times that I wasn't able to say lines right, or I wasn't able to make a basketball hoop, I don't think that things would have turned out the way they did. Will I continue to embarrass myself? Yes. But I do not have to write that in my story. It's a different day. It's funny how that works. The earth spins. So do I. So, in addition to everything I've said, I want to bring attention to the joy that's also in my journal, in between the to-do lists. For one of my classes, we've had to do joy journals, where we talk about the things that bring us joy every week. And I'd like to read to you my most recent joy journal. My girlfriend is nice to me and helps me out. I'm almost done with my last semester on campus at UNI, and I'll feel relief soon. There are professors and other students that listen to me and are willing to support me. Even though I should have probably gotten kicked out of the org KDP, I got a cord to wear at graduation and was told that they were glad to have me, and I'll get more from others soon. I've been able to cook delicious food recently, and I always get told by Elsa's mom that it smells good. I have enough to eat and drink, and a roof over my head, and a coat, and a scarf and a hat, and gloves, so I'm not so cold when I'm outside. And for that, I'm so grateful. Again, shout out to my girlfriend Alice. You're a real one. So, when I think about my to-do list, and I look at ones from the past, I realize that just like chilling out and enjoying nature or taking a little stroll or resting, like those are never on my to-do list. I am either grinding or like rotting on whatever social media platforms are my vice of choice. But I think I have to add all of those little walks, all of the moments that I spend just like resting with someone else, or just having a casual little conversation. Like, those are definitely high points. I feel good when that happens, even if it doesn't make my to-do list. I think that I am gonna run when I cross the street. But I often feel like I'm making to-do lists in the middle of a busy street, and I get through it so that I can feel safe on the other side, but I'm always crossing streets. And maybe I should just run and then rest.